had to pee, and all of a sudden I see 20 guys standing on line for the fucking bathroom, and I asked one, I go, listen, why don't you just ask the guy in the tub if we could pee on him? So I walked over to the guy. I go, can I ask you a question? Do you mind if we pee on you? The guys go, right ahead. There was a point in the night I looked at him. He had a circle of guys just, those guys that don't want to wait online? Like, fuck it, just pee on him. When I left, the guy had 3 inches of pee in the fucking tub. The sign was all fucking melted. Like the black ink would have been melted. It was, this guy wanted people to spit on him. We ended up pissing on him. And I pissed on him. I'm guilty of it. I don't give a fuck. He didn't suck my dick or nothing. I would piss on anybody. I don't give a fuck.
He seems like the luckiest man alive.
Oh, please, but that's a crazy ass fetish, but you never know. Some people's chicken is another man's gumbo. You know what I'm saying? I don't like pissing on myself, but this guy wanted you to piss and spit on him. So one of the biggest lessons I ever learned, I never drank again on New Year's. Never. After I seen that one New Year's, I went to a party like that. It was very chill. Everybody was having a good time. And also, one of my buddies couldn't drink. He started drinking, and he started spitting on the floor.
Oh, no.
And the person said something to him. And he put like $200 in. The person said something to him. So I was like, really? He goes, either I'll take my money and leave, or I'll fucking... So he started some shit. Next thing you know, all fight broke out. That's the first time. Fuck Mike Tyson. Danny Bianculo bit my friend's ear off that night. We had to drive him to the hospital with a baggie with ice in, and the bottom of his earlobe was in the thing. And he kept holding on to the car saying, as soon as I get stitched up, I'm going to go back there and fuck him up. It was one of those types. The kid bit him in the ear. It was hanging. He's got his ear in a baggie with ice, and he's like, I hope this fucking doctor hurries up, because I'm gonna go back to his house and knock the fuck out of him. He just beat you up 10 times. To stop you the 10th time, he bit your fucking ear, because he couldn't take it no more. He didn't know what else to tell the fucking kid. But I remember that I never drank on New Year's again. I was like, I never want to be in that position.
There's some dudes that just don't give up.
No, this motherfucker till this day won't give up. You have to kill him with a stick. But he was covered in blood. They broke him up, and he would say, okay, I'm all right. He'd wipe his lip. He'd wipe his face. They'd say, go over and shake Danny's hand. He'd go over to Danny and say, Danny, I'm sorry, but your mother's still a cunt. Let's go one more fucking time. And then they do it again for 20 minutes. The kid would beat the fuck out of him again. All right, get me. All right, I'll stop. And Danny would go, you're going to stop this time? Yeah. Break it up, towels, ice, massages, Stitch would be there. And while Stitch is showing him, let me go shake his hand, bro. Yeah, it's over. You know what? Your mother still has VD in her asshole. Jesus fucking Christ, he just beat you up 10 fucking times. And that's how bad it was. And I never, ever, ever drank again on New Year's, dog. That's excitement. Your kid fucking getting in trouble.
What?
That's excitement. Your kid having some fucking drama in his life. Let me ask you something. You want a half a fag fucking kid? Is that what you want? You want your kid to you want your kid to have some fucking opinion, even at an early age. And for him to have some opinion, there's got to be some problem somewhere along the line, guy.
Yeah, that's true.
You had your own fucking opinions at 8 and 9. I know you. And so I don't know about fucking you, but I know I did. I told people what the fuck was on my mind. I know you did. You grew up by yourself. You want your kids to... I see these kids... Listen, before I was driving, I seen this kid, Jewish kid, with a yarmulke on, walking around like a fucking momo with sandals on. I almost pulled over and grabbed him by the shirt and said, you're a fucking Jew. Act like it, you dumb fuck. Walking around like some fucking dumpy-wumpy dude. I see these kids... I see these fucking kids today,
You're a Jew, act like
a fucking Jew. Go out and mug somebody. Go out and sell shoes or something.
Wait a minute.
You're all walking around like a fucking mumpy-dumpy in North Hollywood.
What's a mumpy?
Some fucking mook with little sandals on. Look at these fucking kids today.
Wow.
You want half of these kids to be your fucking kids?
What do you
about
care
this
how
fucking
they dressed?
nonsense and shit? I'm just saying it's not what they're dressed like, but you know this kid's a fucking mook walking around.
He's a mook.
You can tell by his body.
Is that racist?
Mook? No, I think
it's a mook. Fucking body. Like he's a fucking moron, guy.
Yeah,
what the fuck? You've been hanging out with me for 6 years. You don't know what a fucking mook is, guy. Jesus fucking Christ.
Why would I know that?
You know what I'm saying? You want these fucking kids around you texting all fucking day and drinking energy drinks. You need these fucking kids? These kids can't even work. They're so fucking worthless. You want this shit in your life? You want your kid to have a little opinion and to stick up for himself. You want your fucking principal to call home and say, hey, man, your kid's suspended because he told the teacher he didn't believe that or he didn't believe what he was saying or something. And then you talk to him and you level him out. But you don't want half these fucking kids that are sheep.
Fucking mooks.
I don't want no fucking kid that's a half a sheep.
I understand that. What I'm talking about is crazy kids. You know?
What kind of crazy kid? What's a crazy
You never grew up with a crazy kid?
I am a fucking crazy kid. Look at me. You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? What's a crazy kid?
A kid that's gonna cause problems all the time.
It's not gonna cause problems.
Like Dennis the Menace. Dennis
If the
the
kid's
Menace.
causing problems all the time, it's scary. It's like you let your kid out.
I didn't light fires. I didn't do nothing like that. I didn't mug other kids or rape little fucking girls. I was a fucking kid that liked to have a good time. My first car was a fucking 73 Monte Carlo, black on black leather, 500 down, 200 a month. I got it from the bank. I drove the car for 2 months like a pimp. I had the electric package with the windows. I had the roof. And one day in the middle of the winter, I went over to the city to get some weed. And I went and we were smoking, so I put the sunroof up. And all of a sudden, the sunroof went back. And the windows started going up and down like the electrical system was sizzled. I told my buddy, fuck it, put your thing, we're out of here. I swear to God, it was in a blizzard. I went back there 3 days later, the car had a foot of snow on it. And all the windows, one window was shut, the rest of the window had come in. Like a day later, the sun came out. I went back 2 days later with a tow truck. There was nothing. Nothing. It was the back. It looked like a fucking chicken the day after Thanksgiving. It was just bone. They took everything, Joe. The seats, the upholstery, the fucking black around it. It was just the tires, the whatever, the axles. They took everything. They left the body on bricks. That was it. I never heard from the bank. I never paid it off. It never came back in my it never came back in my credit thing. It
just vanished?
It just poof. Poof. I never paid for it. I went years later to get credit. Like, is there a check bank of fucking America with nothing? What? Poof, nothing.
How's that possible?
Don't fucking ask me. I left the car there with $5 for whatever. Yeah, it's his $5. In those days, like all you had to do was go by George Washington Bridge, and under the bridge, you left your car there with the keys in it, with a half a tank of gas, and leave like a nickel bag. Your car, you go back there the next day, there would be nothing there. Nothing. Vanish. You could get fucking Barney Fife on it, they wouldn't find your car. In New York, they would demolish your car like that, bro.
I'm gonna have to quiet these kids up. You hear this?
It's okay. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, me and Joey will talk about cats.
It's their fucking house. You know what I'm saying? It's their fucking house.
I know it's their house.
So what do you want from me? We're imposing in their
The
house.
missus should have told
The
them.
missus got shit on her plate. There's children out there. You know what I'm saying? We should shut up in here. These fucking people don't know nothing about kids. Right away, he's dropping knowledge. You don't know about fucking kids. That's their fucking house.
So old school.
This is their house. We're over here like bothering them. This is 4 o'clock. I don't know if you look. This is their fucking time. When we were kids at 4 o'clock, you come into my house telling me to shut up, bitch. I got Popeye on. I'll stab you. You know what I'm saying?
They don't. All I'm saying is don't play in front of my door.
Right.
Oh, they're cute kids. Let them do what they do. This is their house. What are you gonna do? Right?
I like the background noise.
Brian is so old school. Or excuse me, Joey's so old school.
Right.
He's
I know.
like
It's Popeye.
beyond. He's
Get Popeye in a
beyond.
ruler.
You're so old school. Like it's like almost like you have your own defined set of rules.
Yeah, and he still used MySpace.
Yeah, I have.
Do you still use MySpace?
Dude, he pimps MySpace on
Do you
Twitter.
really?
Pimp it. Bro, you gotta bring the motherfuckers to you. You know what I'm saying? Enough is enough. If you put it out there, you gotta have something. There's nothing wrong with MySpace, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because in a year, it'll be back.
Yeah, but you know...
In a year, it'll be back.
Dude.
And then all you momos that got rid of your page and
It's
swooped
not.
all your
All you
friends,
mooks.
all you fucking mooks, me,
You
I'll
wappy tappies.
have my friends and then some. I've been paying attention all this time. Why are people getting off MySpace?
Because, here, Joey, here's a perfect
It's
example.
fashionable to get off.
When you're...
Dan Hardy lost 2 in a row. Do you not hang out with him no more?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what? You gotta hang on MySpace.
All your
What's
friends aren't
fashionable?
real. All your
Who
friends aren't
gives a
real.
fuck?
Those
I don't
are
have
robots.
What do you think? Those fucking momos on Facebook are gonna hang out with you and bail you out when you hit somebody in the head with a stick? I don't think so, you fuck. Go fuck yourself and your friends. You just want to get out there and tell people what's happening. At Facebook, there's still people alive and kicking at their old school. Bitch, I still got 8-track tape. 8-track. I'll send you a podcast on an 8-track and shit. That's the problem with you fucking kids.
Ow.
Everything has to be fashionable. Fuck fashionable.